Jahmyr Gibbs of the Detroit Lions. Gibbs goes number 12, and I think immediately we saw his playmaking ability and the vision that the Lions had for him as they'd already built this team loaded up on offensive linemen, different types of deep threats and speed all over the place. When Gibbs got in there as a change of pace back, he created a ton of big plays for the Lions.
Yeah, he did. But also I think we saw that, like, he's just a really good running back. I mean, they were making all this, like, the justification around drafting him so high was, oh, you're talking about just you can't draft a running back that high. He's just a playmaker to us. He's just an offensive weapon. And whether or not that was just like semantics or whether they actually had this vision for him of some sort of positionless weapon X within the offense, when you just gave him the carries and just said he's just the running back in this offense behind one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, that the passing game is functioning, like, then he just was an amazing explosive playmaker. And last season in particular, the league has been skewing this way for a while, but explosive, fast, running backs with burst are the guys that are dominating the NFL right now. And Gibbs was maybe the finest exponent of that last season. Just anytime you got him a crease, he had that burst and acceleration to turn that into a huge play.
So Gibbs ends up playing, including the playoffs, 681 snaps. There was a point in the season where David Montgomery was banged up and Gibbs had to take on a bigger workload for a little bit. But I liked what the Lions did to kind of ease him in a little bit. There were some pass protection issues as far as recognition, but he was a weapon in the pass game. And when they did run him, I think they gave him Gibbs-type plays early on. And as you said, hey, eventually when they gave him all the carries, he showed he could do it. But I liked that balance between him and David Montgomery. They did a nice job getting Gibbs into space. And to your point, once he got a crease, he could create a big play. And that's what did the Lions pay a premium for that at pick 12? Absolutely, but that's what he gave them, right? Second highest breakaway run rate in the NFL last year. So Gibbs was a playmaker, and I think he's got plenty to build upon in year two. I'm interested to see how much increase in workload you get here. Just like Bijan Robinson, not that they were babying him at all, but they definitely eased him in the first half of the season. Does Gibbs start to take over more of the workload in year two because of that big play potential? We've seen this a lot through the years, the Tony Pollards of the world, right? It's like Jaylen Warren. Hey, the guy that only has 15 touches a game, what if he made that 20? What if he made that 25? Are we going to see that with Gibbs in year two? That's what I'm interested to see for the Lions. I think he can handle it. But there's something about saving him and putting him in best position to succeed rather than let's just run power because he's the running back.
There's like two questions there, right? There's, do you actually hit an area of diminishing returns where you're not better making that player, take all the workload? Like, does having these split backfields maximize the impact, the efficiency that one of those backs has? And if you just gave him the whole workload, you're actually negatively, adversely affecting what he can do in the overall. And then does Detroit want to do that even if he could handle more of it? Or do they actually value the split workload and the different types of backs and the contrast between Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs and some of the other players that they've got now young behind him? I think those are open questions.